my friends, sit back, relax. I am Ryan. This is Demos in the Dark, and tonight we are checking out a pedal from DPE Pedals, and this is the DC-30 EF86 valve preamp, and this is a ballsy pedal, I just gotta say. And we'll get into why in just a moment. But for now, I am going to tell you that it is, I think it's based off of the Matchless DC-30, the original old Matchless DC-30, which also used an EF86 in the preamp. There is a tube in here, of course. And first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to run it down on a track. And I am going to run it on multiple guitar tracks as well as Rhodes. But I am going to be running into the return of my Henry Amps Pasadena Rose, which has EL84s, much like that Matchless. And we're not using the preamp. We are just using the power amp on that. So then come on back here and we will take this thing for a spin. Thanks for sticking around. All right, here is why I think this pedal is ballsy. It's always on. So right now there's no light on or anything like that, but it is running. And I have it plugged into the front end of my Benson Amps Monarch Reverb like you would. But I mean, look at where I have the master. It's pretty much all the way down. You kick it up and you're in trouble. We can switch over the gain. I think that sounds cool, but like I said, we're not really even using much of the pedal itself because we're running the preamp into another preamp, and this preamp is always on. So what I propose, and what I think it was designed for, is to run into the return of an effects loop, which bypasses the amp's original preamp. So we're going to do that with the Henry Amps Pasadena Rose. All right, so unfortunately, I can't show you what unaffected sound would be because there is none. We're just using the power amp of the Henry Amps Pasadena Rose. So if we got this master cranked up now, we got... And there's some controls on here that will be on all the time, and that's one of them. There's also a depth here, and it's just the lows, how much lows are you letting in, and it's on a four-way kind of toggle. we have the pre-gain tone control. This is also always on. The other thing we have that's always on is this cut switch right here, and what it does is just tames your high end. We've had it off. Let's turn it on. All right, and then we will kick on the second channel, which is the drive channel. Volume controls how much additional volume hits the tube stage. Man, that sounds good. And then we have the gain, which is pre-gain adjustment. So when I review preamp pedals, I typically run them into the front of my amplifier because as one who consumes social media and looks at countless pedal board pictures a day, I recognize that that is how most people are using preamp pedals. And someone will like invariably comment like, why don't you just plug it into the, because not many people do that. But this thing, that is the way. The way is to use it as an actual preamp for your amp, and because it sounds better that way. It sounds better using it as a preamp, bypassing your preamp on your amp, than it does plugging it into the front of your amp, which is why I think this pedal is kind of ballsy. And I love it. It sounds amazing. It's got tons and tons of texture. It's got tons and tons of character. And it's cool. So I dig it. I think some people are going to be like, this is amazing. And I think other people are going to be like, I'm not into that. And both things are fine. But I love this thing. So thanks for sending this over for me to check out. And as always, thank you for the privilege of your time.